something potentially where any hand's going to play.
Well, Joe, not only is Nadya not in a deficit, she's up over 55,000.
Yeah, her opponents know, Chris, that she's going to be protecting her profits at this point, so she'll probably play more straightforward, and she's less likely to put up much of a fight with marginal hands.
Barry opts to not play that hand. Jason's out. Joe's out. Danny. Ace. Jack.
Thought he had a blank card at first.
I know. Raises to 1,500. Nadya folds. Justin Bonomo, Jack 3 suited.
The wheels are turning.
What's pot?
We're pot limit before the flop. He's essentially asking, how much can I raise?
Justin raises to 5,300.
Bonomo's 3-betting out of position, clearly trying to make a play. Clear to us, at least.
Danny calls.
Danny's got Justin dominated heading into this flop.
Which is 6 Queen Jack.
Both players have flopped a jack. Danny's got Justin in jail for the moment.
Bonomo has checked on over to Danny Alaei.
Justin gave up the lead. He flopped a marginal hand and now wants to see the turn as cheaply as possible.
Danny fires 7,200.
Poker things change quite a bit. A lot of times you want to see another card and reevaluate.
Justin calls.
Danny's got the best hand. It may be tough for him to know it given the 3-bet pre-flop.
10 of spades on the turn.
I don't think Justin wanted to see that card. It's likely to have connected with a lot of hands in Danny's range.
Bonomo checks.
See if Danny fires.
He doesn't. 8 of spades on the river.
Justin probably doesn't love his hand at this point. If he's contemplating a bet, it would be for bluffing purposes only.
And there he goes, betting 20,000.
Sizable bluff. Justin's trying to get Danny to fold a marginal showdown hand. In this case, Danny's hand is marginal. He has second pair. There's a lot out there that beats him, so it is a scary bet. Justin's made the right read on Danny's hand, but we'll have to see if the bet is the right amount to make him fold.
And Alaei folds.
And the rich gets richer.
Justin Bonomo is a well-oiled bluff machine. You put the best hand in, it shreds it to pieces.
It is unreal how Justin Bonomo, time after time, gets the opponent to lay down the best hand. Well, time to take a look at the cash chart, and as you can see, Nadya Magnus still turning a profit of more than 55,000, but it's all about Justin Bonomo, up over 230 grand as he continues to roll over the table, Joe.
Bonomo is sitting directly to the loose cannon's left, and as our big leader, he's really been taking charge of this table, and it shows. If we look at his stats, Justin leads in voluntary pots played, pre-flop raise percentage, and attempt to steal percentage. Aggression will get you everywhere in this game.
Justin Bonomo will start this hand on the button.
Perfect spot to continue his aggression.
That means the action will begin with Joe Cassidy looking at King 7 of spades. It has been a tough few nights for Joe Cassidy, and he folds. 5 high is out of here. Pair of jacks for Nadya Magnus, the loose cannon.
14.
She raises to 1,400.
Nadya comes out raising even though she's got a stack to protect.
Action folds over to Jason Mercier. Queen 10 suited, calls.
Nadya's in pretty good shape against Jason going into this flop.
Which is Queen 6-4. Jason flops top pair and checks.
No longer in very good shape.
Nadya fires 2,200.
Not too scary of a board for 2 jacks.
Jason quickly calls.
Nadya knows with only one overcard, it's unlikely to have hit Jason.
8 of hearts on the turn. Mercier checks again.
It's going to be difficult for Nadya to know her jacks are beat if she didn't think they were on the flop.
She fires 5,500 this time.
Jason's probably not folding. He could raise, but I don't see him getting called by a worse hand. I don't think he'd ever lay down top pair to Nadya in this spot, though.
It just calls. The river card, 7 of hearts.
Puts a 4-card straight out there. Tough for either player to get value out of one pair, but it might save Nadya some money.
Jason checks.
I have jacks.
Nadya checks, shows her jacks, and sees that Jason has a queen.
Nadya's stack takes a hit there. That comes out of her own pocket at this point.
I was expecting a $14,000 bet.
Not with that card.
No, I know. I'm just kidding.
Well, losing that hand now puts Nadya behind our first loose cannon, Ernest Wiggins. Remember, at season's end, the most profitable loose cannon wins that North American Poker Tour passport worth 50 grand.
If Nadya doesn't look too happy, it's because she's come off a little less than 30,000 from her peak.
Danny Alaei looking at 10-4. That's out of here. Nadya, pocket pair.
1,400.
Raises to 1,400. Bonomo calls. Queen 10 suited. King Jack for Barry Greenstein.
Barry's not going anywhere with paint in his hand.
Certainly not on the button. Raised to 6,500. Mercier folds. Cassidy folds.
I don't think these guys haven't noticed Nadya's change in demeanor as well. They know she's probably going to tighten up to stop the bleeding. Barry senses dead money, and this is his way of getting it.
Nadya does fold.
You know, I see dead people. Barry sees dead money.
Well, Justin's not going anywhere.
Justin knows exactly what Barry's capable of.
So 2 to the flop.
Barry's going to have the slight lead.
7-4 tray, 2 clubs.
No help to either player. Barry's still ahead, and he was the pre-flop aggressor.
Bonomo has checked on over to Barry Greenstein. He bets 8,500.
That was not the flop we wanted.
Wasn't even the right color.
And Justin folds.
The C-bet works for Barry this time.
Nadya Magnus can feel the clock ticking and see her stack shrinking. And with that, Barry's back in the black, up 13K. The big game returns after this.
Welcome back. Do you think you can beat this game? For a chance to be a loose cannon and play on the big game this season, log on to PokerStars.net. There are free qualifying tournaments every day. Now let's get back to the action.
Fewer than 25 hands for the single mother, Nadya Magnus, to try and hang on to her cash and become the most profitable loose cannon. Right now, she trails the top earning amateur, Ernest Wiggins, by about $5,000. Justin folds.
She can fold her way to a profit, but not to that NAPT passport.
Barry's out of here. Jason Mercier, suited 1 gapper.
14.
Raises to 1,400. Cassidy folds on the button.
Had this hand like 18 times.
And for the 18th straight time, Danny folds it. Nadya, Queen Jack. Calls.
She wants to play, Chris.
5-10 tray, 2 hearts.
Mercier's flopped a pair of 5s. Nothing for Nadya.
Despite that, Nadya leads out, betting 2,200.
She's just bet out of position into the pre-flop raiser. You have to be careful donk betting into these psychos when they have position on you, especially when you have a marginal hand.
Jason raises to 5,600.
That's exactly what can happen.
She looks a little stunned.
I think she may be kicking herself a little bit.
Nadya folds.
Nadya had a pretty strong image at one point, but she seems to have made a few missteps in the last bunch of hands that have allowed these guys to capitalize.
I don't like this routine that I have to get changed. But better win some pot.
Nadya's cash stack takes another hit, and she now falls further behind the most profitable loose cannon, Ernest Wiggins. In the meantime, Jason Mercier adds to his stack. Remember, he reloaded prior to this evening's session. Barry Greenstein folds, so does Mercier. 8-7 of spades for Cassidy and a raise to 1,400. Danny folds. 10-4 suited for the Loose Cannon, who folds. And Justin Bonomo calls.
Between the two of these guys, we got 4 cards to a straight flush. Justin's got Joe dominated for spades.
7-8 tray, all diamonds on the flop. Bonomo checks.
Very interesting flop. Top 2 for Cassidy. Up and down straight draw for Bonomo.
Cassidy fires 3,500.
Bonomo's got 2 overcards to go with his open ender.
Bonomo calls.
Now, even if he makes his straight, he'll have to play cautiously because of those diamonds.
Deuce of clubs on the turn.
It's a whiff for Bonomo.
Bonomo checks again.
Cassidy knows it's unlikely for Bonomo